Shri Krishna Balaram ki. So, Hare Krishna, everyone please settle down. We're going to start with the all the initiates are you on this? Maybe here, Hare Krishna. So, we'd like to thank the different devotees who have actually sponsored the festival today. And also, sponsorship opportunities are open. If anyone would like to sponsor this festival, we have the peace sponsorship. We have sponsorship for the Abhishek. You could Abhishek for $108, Artik for $108, the Mahaprasadam fees for $301, and the new Sri Sri Radha Goloka outfit for $301. If anyone would like to sponsor, please get in touch with Mother Leadership. And we would like to thank the devotees who have already come forward to sponsor different aspects of the festival. So, the new Sri Radha Goloka outfit is sponsored by Madhav Prabhu, Lakshmi Mataji and family.
Haribol.
Today's Mahaprasadam feast will be served after the initiation. It is sponsored by Rakesh Prabhu and Neetu Mataji who are also getting initiated today.
Haribol.
Also we have Ravi Prabhu, Sri Radha Mataji and family for the initiation of Hussain. And we also have Rashmi. We also sponsor the PTA. Very well. Also the Abhishek is sponsored by Vikasan Prabhu, Radharani Mataji and family. And also sponsored by Rishikesh Prabhu, Shamapuri Mataji and family. Also we have the Abhishek sponsored by Gopinath Acharya Prabhu, Pratna Mataji and family. Very good! We also have one anonymous feast sponsor, and we also have Malti Dasi, who sponsors the Aarti program. So let's give a big Haribol to all the sponsors. Also today marks the every Sunday we see Sri Radha Sham Kota Devi on the altar. So today actually marks the 33rd year of service of Sri Radha Sham Sundar. Mataji have been serving these deities for the last 33 years and bringing them every Sunday, and they are part of the Sunday. That's important. Radha Sham Sundar ki jai. Also, we would like to thank all the devotees who have cooked the wonderful Mahaprasadam feast for the pleasure of Sri Sri Balaram. We have Ajay Govinda Prabhu, Kirtila Sundari Mataji, Kalyan Prit Prabhu, Govinda Lilamata Mataji, Varsha Mataji, Radha Rangani Mataji, Ravi Prabhu, Sri Radhe Mataji, Hussain and Rasya, Ketan Prabhu, Sajet Prasant Prabhu, Pratna Mataji, Gopinath Acharya Prabhu, Naval Keshwari Mataji, and Jayesh Prabhu. We have one of the initiations at the auspicious day to receive initiation. So, also after the initiation, please come and take out of the screen.
Okay, everybody can hear me? Okay, that's good. So, welcome to Lord Balaram's Appearance Day. And so we're gonna, I don't need the microphone.
Yes, sir.
I have, it's built into my body. I have two microphones built into my body right now. So anyway, Om Gana Timidandasha Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmeditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master's divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who so kindly opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravadi Pacharani Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschatjatejatari. So we also have devotees from Australia that are participating with us in this particular initiation. And Australia is on a lockdown, so they can't have a fire sacrifice. Sydney, yeah, it's mainly Sydney. Yeah, I think everybody's in Sydney. So they can't have a fire sacrifice there, so they're going to be participating with us in our sacrifice. Some of the devotees are taking first initiation, some of the devotees are taking second initiation. You get a chance to see them more clearly when they speak and they take their vows. But right now you just see me on the screen. Sorry about that. So, we're going to speak a little bit about Lord Balaram first, because it is Lord Balaram's appearance day, and it's also very significant that we're giving an initiation on Lord Balaram's appearance day, because Lord Balaram is the original guru. And we all know the importance of having a guru. Tasmat guru prapadyeta vigyasa shreya uttamam. That if one wants to know about the absolute truth, you have to approach a guru. Not only to know about the absolute truth, but you have to have guidance, sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana. These are the three aspects that you get from a guru. So let me describe what that means. Sambandha basically means who you are, what the material world is, of course, who Krishna is. That's probably more important. What time is, what karma is, all those nice things that the Bhagavad Gita presents. Basically, sambandha gyan. Abhideya means, what do you do about that information? Now that you know you're not the body, you're part and parcel of Krishna, you're suffering from your karma, what are you going to do about it? I mean, what's the purpose, So you're going to develop love of Krishna, but how are you going to develop love of Krishna? You're going to be engaged in first sadhana bhakti. You're going to practice love of Krishna, just like you practice a piano or a guitar or any instrument before you actually get up on the stage. It would be ridiculous if you got up on the stage and you never practiced. We have people like that who come to Mangalarti who sing and play instruments and they never practiced before. And it drives me crazy. So that's what happens if you don't practice. And some people, like Ujjwala Rasananda, they're very good on the drum, and they give me ecstasy, whereas other people make me want to run out of the temple room. So, who shall remain nameless to protect the guilty? So there has practice, and then after you practice, you start to get a little spontaneous on the keyboard or on the drum, and after that, you start to get ecstasies, bhava bhakti, and after that, you get prema bhakti. So this is the process of abhideya. And then prayojana means what happens when you go back to the spiritual world. And that's prayojana. So the guru instructs one in all three phases of devotional service. Sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana. And in the spiritual world, the spiritual master engages one in one's particular relationship with Radha and Krishna, or with Mother Yashoda, or with the Goward boys, or with Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Hanuman, or with Kurma, or whatever, or Lord Nrsingadev, depending on your particular relationship. And it's interesting that the spiritual master relates to everybody in every relationship with Krishna. So if you go back and you're a coward boy, then the spiritual master will help you be a coward boy. Pretty cool. So anyway, so having a spiritual master is essential. Tad vignartama eva guru avigachat. And to understand what is a bona fide spiritual master, the rest of that verse is samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. That the spiritual master must first of all be a servant of his guru. Because if the spiritual master is not a servant of his guru, then the disciplic succession is broken. Krishna mentions that in the Gita. He says, I'm teaching Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita because previously I taught it to Vivaswan Manu, Manu Ikshvaku, and then it got broken. So I got to tell it again. So one has to be bona fide, and the chain has to be bona fide, or else there's no spiritual knowledge transmitted. So the whole point is the spiritual master has to be a servant of his guru. And Prabhupada, you see, was the perfect servant of his spiritual master, his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and carried out the message and the instructions of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur without question. He went to the Western world at the ripe old age of 72, 70. Of course, I'm at the ripe old age of 72. Oh my God. And Prabhupada crossed the ocean, took so many risks to carry out the order of his spiritual master. So that's what a spiritual master is. Just like surrendered, sarvadharma. People question what sarvadharma purichashama maikam sharanam braja aham tvam sarvabhavaibhyo mokshiyashyami masuchaha means. It means surrender to Krishna in the sense of following the orders of Guru. Because how do you know what Krishna is saying? What's that? Oh, Prabhupada's picture. I thought that was a seat for you or your wife or something. So, gotta have a little humor. Very nice. So that's the point, taking one's guru's instructions as one's life and soul. And then you achieve Krishna consciousness very easily, right? Yasha prasada bhagavat prasada yasha prasadana kati katopi. So Balaram is the original guru. The verse states, Balahine na labdwa, Nayamatma balahine na labdwa. Without the mercy of Balaram, no one makes any spiritual advancement. And also Balaram hoila Nitai. Lord Balaram appears in this day and age, a little over 500 years ago, as Lord Nityananda. So, we are very, very fortunate, and Balaram is so merciful, Lord Nityananda is so merciful that Dinahina Yatachilo Harina Mudurilo, he accepts everyone, Tara Shakshai, Jagai Madai. Even people like Jagai and Madai, Balaram accepts. So we are very fortunate, and we are very fortunate to have the shelter of Balaram's representative, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder, Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and we are representing His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in carrying out his mission. So as far as who Balaram is, I said he's the original spiritual master, we understand that. He's also non-different from Krishna. We had this interesting discussion this morning, if you remember. Like, who is Balaram? Who is Ram? Lord Ram. Who is Lakshman? Who is Bharat? Who is Shatrugna? Who is Lord Kurma? Who is Lord Varaha? Who is Lord Nrsingadev? We had this discussion, right? And so they're all the same person. Balaram, Krishna, Lord Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, and the whole list that I just gave. They're all, or he's all, actually to be more precise, the same person. So why do we have these interesting interactions between Balaram and Krishna? Let's take that for an example. It appears that Balaram's a different person. For example, Balaram wanted to marry his sister Subhadra with who? Does anyone know? Duryodhana. Duryodhana is a really good guy. He actually was quite nice. He just had one fault. He was an envious demon. So besides that, he was a good guy. Anyway, but he was very charitable. In fact, he gave away most of the money from the kingdom of Hastinapur so that everyone would like him. So Balaram wanted his sister to marry Duryodhana. And Balaram was the elder brother. And so naturally, for those of you who are from polite society, you're supposed to follow your elder brother, right? That's the rule. Actually, I know many of you from India, you can't get married until your elder brother is married, right? I mean, can you imagine that? What if your elder brother becomes a sannyasi? Then you have to also become a sannyasi. You're in trouble. So therefore, we find the younger brothers making arrangement for the older brothers to get married. Please get married as soon as possible. So anyway, so Balaram was the older brother. Krishna, by culture, had to listen to him, but something else happened. Krishna did not like Balaram's arrangement because it would have been a disaster. How could he have fought on Arjuna's side in the battle of Kurukshetra had Subhadra married Duryodhana? Would have been an absolute disaster. So Krishna, he said to Arjuna, come to our house and dress as a sannyasi. Because Arjuna had taken a vow of vanaprastha at that time. There's a whole story in the Mahabharata that he had to take a vow of vanaprastha because he intruded on Draupadi and Yudhisthira. I'm not going to tell that whole story. So Arjuna comes to the house of Krishna and Balaram, and Subhadra is there, and he's invited for dinner. And then Krishna's sitting down at the dinner table with Krishna and Balaram and Subhadra, and Arjuna's there, and he's making eyes at Subhadra. Can you imagine because Krishna told him to do it. Can you imagine if you invited a sannyasi to your home and he's making eyes at your sister or daughter? Wouldn't it be embarrassing? He's like, I can't do that. But anyway, I'd have to take off the mask to do it effectively. But anyway, so here's the sannyasi, Arjuna, supposed sannyasi, and he's making eyes. And then Subhadra's, I don't know if you can see, I was blinking. But Subhadra was actually making eyes back at him. And then Krishna says, here, you can borrow my chariot to take Subhadra away. And not only that, Krishna made all the arrangements. He said, you can have Subhadra drive the chariot. So many people think that women were not drivers 5,000 years ago. Many of you may advocate the philosophy of the Taliban in Afghanistan. That women should just remain in the kitchen, cooking, making as many rotis as you can stuff your belly with. But actually, Subhadra was trained up to drive a chariot. I mean, otherwise, you can't just put someone in a chariot and say, drive it, and they'll be able to drive it. It's more difficult to drive horses than it is to drive a car. I don't know if anyone here drive a chariot ever? Well, I've ridden horses. One time I jumped on a horse thinking I was going to drive it, and the horse took me to the next county. And I had to jump off the horse to escape. So it's not that easy to control horses. So Subhadra, she was able to drive. So she drove Arjuna, and she kidnapped Arjuna, actually. That was Krishna's arrangement. So when Balaram got really angry, what happened with Subhadra? And it was revealed that Subhadra was with Arjuna. And then he said, we got to at least attack or capture Arjuna. And then Krishna said, no, it's not a good idea. Calm down. Find out who was actually driving the chariot. So Subhadra driving the chariot. So in other words, Krishna and Balaram are the same person. I'm just illustrating something here that we discussed this morning. Krishna and Balaram are the same person, yet they have different opinions. Did you ever experience that yourself? Maybe you did. Actually, there's this disease that some people have, it's called multiple personality disorder. People can have different personalities, split personalities and things like that. So Krishna can act differently, simultaneously interact with himself in infinite places. I said simultaneously again. And it's inconceivable. But why doesn't Krishna know? Here's the question. Why, if Krishna is omniscient, right? That's one of the qualities of God. He's omniscient. So why doesn't he actually know that, that's what I'm doing? That's just me, it's just it's just a joke. Balaram is him, and he is Krishna. Advaita Chuta Nadirananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamahame. Why doesn't Krishna know that? Well, he voluntarily doesn't know it so he can enjoy himself. This is called Ras. Krishna's Rasa Raj. He's the king of all rasas, the enjoyer of all different rasas. Let me give you an explanation of how that even happens in this material world. When I was going to the university, I took a course in acting. You heard the story before. And I took a course in what's called method acting. Anyone's heard of method acting before? Stanislavski, method acting. That means where you become your character and you forget who you are in real life. So the first day, the teacher says, all right, you're a tree. And of course, we know that's what happens to people who go to nudist colonies. They become trees in the next life. But anyway, Prabhupada said that. If someone walks around without clothes, they become trees. So you become a tree. And everybody in class had to become a tree and stand like that and feel like they were a tree and experience like they were a tree. And this teacher was so good that after a while, I didn't think I was a tree, but anyway, after a while, we got so much into our different roles that we played that we forgot who we were. Voluntarily, we could do that. And actually, if you look at some of these Hollywood or Bollywood actors, actresses, what happens is that they have some particular role to play and they have like a wife or a girlfriend in the movie, and then they forget about their actual wife. And after the movie is over, they get married to their movie wife. Did you ever see that happen? That happens, doesn't it? That's why you have all these movie magazines, the Bollywood movie magazines or Hollywood movie magazines, because they get into their roles. So Krishna, he wants to enjoy, and that's really enjoyment when you act as something, just like we have expert actors and actresses here who are putting on the Mukta Charita for Janmashtami, and they get into your role. You actually feel like you're a Lita or Radharani. It's not impersonalism, but it's part of the art of acting, and that's enjoyable. Like children sometimes, one of them plays the part of a dog or a cat. I remember we used to play cats and robbers. Cops and robbers, not cats and robbers. Cops and robbers or, commies. And I won't get into that. So it's enjoyable. So Krishna wants to enjoy. And if he's always thinking he's God, what's the enjoyment? Like when the coward boys marched into the mouth of the Aghasura demon snake, big snake. Krishna saw them doing that and he got worried. If he remembered he was God, how could he be worried? But he wanted to enjoy being worried. And then a second later he remembers, hey, I'm God. I just remembered. And then he goes into the Aghasura demon, expands himself and kills the Aghasura demon. And so Krishna's enjoying like that. He's really enjoying. So all these different avatars, incarnations, expansions, and everything like that, they're all the same person. There's only one God, Ekaleshwara Krishna of the Richard. There's only one God, and God reveals himself to the fullest extent as Krishna in Vrindavan, or as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. And when we talk about expansions of the Lord, those are different manifestations of the same person in different circumstances. Prabhupada said that God, when he goes to the office, he's Vishnu. And when he comes home, he's Krishna. Same person. No difference. And if you really are interested in that whole theological aspect or ontological, that's a big word for all of you, read the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It describes this in great depth so you understand. There is no difference between the various incarnations of God, just in their manifestation. How much they can reveal to you based on your relationship or based upon the situation or pastime they're executing. So Balaram and Krishna are non-different, and they execute different pastimes, and sometimes they disagree with each other. You know, when Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, and Krishna gave Rukmini, her brother, a haircut, Balaram was upset with him. He said, "How can you do that to our brother-in-law?" So you find these interesting interactions between Balaram and Krishna. And Balaram has specific demons that he kills. Now, Drishtaprabhu was talking about this morning, that specific demons that Balaram kills, like Pralambasura and Dayanakasura, are the ones that indicate the anarthas in our hearts that we have to work on. We can't just say, "Krishna, take away all these anarthas like Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, Bhaya." We got to work on it too. You know, when Krishna wants, I will be Krishna conscious. No. Krishna wants, you don't want. Krishna says, "Yeyatamam prabhajante tam sataiva bhajame aham." As they surrender unto me, I reciprocate with them. He doesn't say, I just give them whatever I want. It doesn't matter how they feel. It's a reciprocal relationship. Another verse in the Bhagavad Gita is, "Samaham sarvabhuteshu name dvesho stinapriha." Krishna's equal to everybody. So you all have an opportunity to become pure devotees of Krishna instantaneously. Or you all have an opportunity to become pure devotees of Krishna after 10 billion births. Up to you, not up to Krishna. Don't blame him. Krishna's he wants you back, but you have to want to come back to him. So let's continue with the initiation. We talked about Balaram. We don't want to go on forever. So initiation basically means to formally join the Krishna conscious movement, the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. And there's two types of initiation that we're doing today. One type is the Harinam initiation. Harinam means the chanting the Lord's holy names, and I'll describe that in a little detail in a second. And the other type is the Gayatri or Brahma Diksha, in which one gets the Gayatri mantras. There's 7 Gayatri mantras that they get. So first initiation, the Harinam initiation, is based on chanting Hare Krishna, and that's the Yuga Dharma. Kali Kalera Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Ekon Dharma. There's one Dharma in Kali Yuga, chanting the Lord's holy names. That's it. Other things are just meant to support it. We do a fire sacrifice to support it. We have so many rituals. All they're meant to do is support the chanting of Hare Krishna. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyata. There ain't no other way. Sorry. There ain't no other way. There ain't no other way. That's my colloquial English for you. Just chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. And when something's repeated 3 times, then that emphasis indicates it's a fact. That's the Vedic system. 3 times, it's a fact. Chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. No other way, no other way, no other way. You better believe it. So, this Harinam initiation is all that's required to go back to home, back to Godhead. Gayatri helps with that. So what is the Harinam initiation? The devotees here are vowing, promising in front of the deities, in front of Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master, to chant 16 rounds every day, 16 rounds Japamala, are trying to avoid the 10 offenses. 10 offenses are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. That's the worst offense because that's a mad elephant offense. When we practice Krishna consciousness, we are dependent on having a taste for practicing, because nobody can chant 16 rounds unless you like it. I mean, there's a lot of things, like if you ask me to chant 16 rounds of Donald Trump every day, I'm joining another movement. I don't care how much money you offer me, how many computers you want to give me, I ain't gonna do it. Because it's so distasteful. Or any word, like water, 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 water. Just even a neutral word like that. So you gotta have a taste. But when you commit offenses against devotees, you lose your taste. Your japa, which you have all these japa bags. Japa bags. Your japa beads become as big as bowling balls. In other words, not really, but they feel like that. You don't have a taste, you can't chant anymore. So it's very important. And nowadays, the way the world is that not everybody, but so many people are enthusiastic to criticize others at the drop of a sika. Or whatever. A hat. I was going to say hat, but hats, devotees don't wear hats, so we wear sikas. So at the drop of whatever, if you go on the internet, I mean, just like recently, I put up something on the internet stating that, I advise the devotees it's a good idea to take a vaccine. Why? Not because I'm taking a political stance, because I'd like to see you alive. I don't like to go to funerals so much. That's why. I want to protect the devotees. Actually, that's my impetus. Not that I want to be oppositional with anybody. So many attacks I got. Oh, this is a bogus sannyasi. He's getting money from the medical establishment. I wish I was. I could build a new temple. But so this is the age of Kali. Manda samanda matayo manda bhagya padrita. Everyone is unfortunate, and there's quarrelsome, the age of iron. For whatever reason, if you go on the internet and in social networking, they're just like boom, boom, criticizing each other for no reason whatsoever. I mean, you could disagree. That's fine. I don't care if people disagree with me. But I'm not a demon just because I have a different opinion. So we have to be very careful of that, because we're destroying our spiritual lives when we criticize others. We can differ in opinions. Yeah, I don't agree with you, Maharaj. Fine. But if you say he's a rascal, he's taking a bribe from the medical establishment, you basically ruined your taste for chanting Hare Krishna at that point. That's it. And don't do it. You can disagree, but no what we call ad hominem attacks, personal attacks on people. All right. I'm stressing that particular offense because that's the most dangerous. Second offense is to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Obviously, Vishnu, Krishna, they're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the other names of demigods are titles of their particular position. Indra, Brahma means the greatest, like that. Of course, Lord Shiva is very special, but he's described like in the Brahma Samhita like the yogurt that comes from the milk. He's not quite Vishnu Tattva, but he's not Jiva Tattva, he's a special category. So the third offense is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. The spiritual master should not be followed blindly. One has checks and balances of Shastra and Sadhu on the spiritual master's words. One should be intelligent. But for normal instructions, one should follow the order of the spiritual master and the philosophy given by the spiritual master. The next offense is to blaspheme Vedic literatures or literatures which are in pursuance of the Vedic version. That means even Western literatures, Eastern literatures, Oriental literatures that glorify God and advocate the chanting of the Lord's holy names, we accept, we don't criticize. We don't criticize the Bible, we don't criticize the Quran. We may criticize people who follow them, or don't follow them, sorry, people who don't follow them. So, next offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna imagination. It's not imagination. Krishna nama chintamani Krishna Chaitanya rasa vigra purna shudha nityamukto binatvam nama namino. Krishna is non-different from his name. It's chintamani, it's like a desire tree when you chant the Lord's holy name. Next offense is to give some crazy interpretation of the name. There are bona fide meanings of Krishna's name. The name Krishna means all attractive. Krish means to attract, Na means Ananda, or bliss. So that's a bona fide meaning of Krishna's name. But that's in accordance with the acharyas, not in accordance with our ripe imagination. The next offense, I'm going quickly through them, is to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting. Because when you chant, you get rid of all your bad karma, right? And so then you're thinking, let me just do some nice thing in Las Vegas and then chant there. Have a Harinam after I go to the casino. Yeah, I'm going there to preach, but also going there to gamble. It doesn't work like that. Krishna's not going to be cheated. So that's really important not to consider. And then the next offense is to consider the chanting like a ritualistic activity, karmakanda activity. We have many different rituals, wearing a sika is a ritual. It's not an absolute spiritual principle, just like you see in South India. They have giant sikas, not that big, but it's as big as practically the whole head in South India. And they have different style tilak. So this cannot be compared to the chanting. All these different things we do mark our body as temples of God. They're important, but they help us connect and remember Krishna. So that's the first rule and regulation, to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, and to chant Krishna's name. So the next offense is to instruct the faithless about the glories of chanting. We shouldn't do that. We can instruct everybody about glories of chanting, but not all the glories. You don't go to a bar and tell people by chanting you're going to get rid of all your sinful activities. You don't go to the slaughterhouse and tell them by chanting you're getting rid of all your sinful activities. You just say chant and be happy. You can have a Harinam in the slaughterhouse. There's nothing wrong with that. Because we want to save the most fallen. But we don't tell them things that they'll use to continue their sinful activities or to criticize us. So we have to be really careful in presenting Krishna consciousness. And then the last offense is not to have complete faith in the chanting of the Lord's holy names and maintain material attachments. It's not offensive to be materially attached. It's offensive to try to increase your material attachment. We understand we have some material attachment. Just be honest about it. Just like the other day, I was in the car and I wanted to experience some happiness by going twice the speed limit. And I understand it was a material attachment, and the police made me give it up. Yeah, so Krishna acted, I saw Krishna coming behind me with flashing lights. Ding, ding, ding. And I was praying, Namaste Narasimhaya Pralada Lada Dayane. And Krishna didn't save me. So that, in other words, Krishna was behind me with flashing lights. Krishna was on the tip of my tongue. He was in my mind. So which Krishna won? The one with the flashing lights. So Krishna said, all right, you got to give up that material attachment for speeding. I was going twice the speed limit. And so now I drive like a little old lady. So Krishna made me give it up. What can I say? So sad. So that's what it means to give up material attachments. If I maintain that material attachment, I'd lose my license. So, isn't it? Krishna teaches us in various ways. We have to see Krishna everywhere and Krishna everything. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamayi pashyati tashaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. One who sees Krishna everywhere and everything, Krishna is never lost to Krishna, nor is Krishna ever lost to him. Okay. And then also ultimately Bhaktivinoda Thakur says it's offensive to be inattentive while chanting. And basically that's a surrounding or an foundational type of offense that is connected with all the other offenses. So how does one become attentive while chanting? While you're chanting, you should be praying to Krishna, crying out to Krishna, volume, hankering, for what? Whatever is in your heart, you pray to Krishna for. Like, Ayananda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavamudo. O son of Nanda Maharaj, I'm your eternal servant. That somehow or other I've fallen down to this horrible ocean of birth and death. Please fix me up as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. And so we pray with that mood. Or whatever, you could pray for the benefit of someone else, but just pray. It should be intense. Tivrena bhakti yogena, yajeta purasham param. That's what stated in the Bhagavatam. So anyway, that's first initiation. And then, of course, you get a spiritual name, you take your vow to follow the 4 regulated principles. Oh yeah, 4 regulated principles. No meat, fish, or eggs, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. That's easy. Those are the easiest principles I ever heard of to follow. I was following them before I came to Krishna consciousness. I mean, it's just, these are the regulated principles of freedom. When you follow them, you're free. And if you don't follow them, you're controlled. Look at Yudhisthira, who was gambling. He even gambled his wife. Can you imagine how intoxicating that is? Would any of you men gamble your wife away? If you were going to lose your house and had a possibility to get your house back, how many of you would gamble your wife? I don't have a wife. You're just afraid to say it because your wife would get upset with you. But anyway, it's crazy, isn't it? And in Las Vegas, or what I call Lust Vegas, in Las Vegas, outside of each casino, they don't let you gamble your wife, of course, but outside of each casino, they have a notary public. Does anyone guess why they have a notary public outside of each casino? So you can gamble your car away. Can you imagine that? Your most dear possession in this world, more than your wife, is your car. And so you gamble that away, and you sign it away, and you leave Las Vegas literally wearing a barrel without any clothes. There's actually cartoons like that, isn't it? There's cartoons like that. So gambling, illicit sex. Sex is meant for marriage, and people should have like stable relationships. There's so much instability in relationships. We can never be happy with unstable relationships. Someone's our friend today, someone's our husband today, someone's our husband tomorrow. You know, sometimes you go to the university and preach, this is my eternal love, some girl will tell you. And next week, here's my new eternal love. Forever, you know. Forever lasts about a week and a half nowadays. So, people need to make commitments to each other. It's really important. Because that's happiness, when people are committed to each other and committed to Krishna. It's not just committed to Krishna, but committed to each other. It means tolerating so many things. Tamsa tiksha shabharata. In any relationship, you got to tolerate. There's no perfect relationship except you and Krishna. And even Krishna makes you tolerate things. I guarantee. That's my experience. So you got to stay stable and faithful in relations. That's part of truthfulness, a principle of religiosity. So illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating. And meat eating, oh my God. Do I need to even talk about that one? I don't think I need to talk about that one because it is so cruel. It's the cause of all the global warming, most of the global warming in the world. It's the cause of COVID. It's a fact. COVID came from the wild market in Wuhan. Did you know that? The bird flu came from what? The birds that people were eating. The chicken flu came from chickens, right? Why do they call it the chicken flu? The Spanish flu didn't come from Spanish people. came from animals the people were keeping. So we're all worried about this COVID, but that's a karmic reaction or a practical or a scientific reaction to what we're experiencing right now. And then there's the karmic reaction. If you kill an animal, you become an animal in your next life. Or if you kill a cow or eat a cow or transport a cow or cook a cow, you'll become a cow for as many hairs, many lifetimes as that cow has hairs. So don't do it. It's not cruel. It's so cruel, Anyway, I don't even need to talk about it. So anyway, that's the vows of first initiation, and very quickly, second initiation is not further vows, but it's actually understanding that one is now a representative, like a minister or priest in the Krishna consciousness movement. And even more so, there's a responsibility to set a good example of samadhamma tapakshocham shanti arajuram evacha Jnanaviganamasti kyam brahma karma svabhavajam, which I'll translate for you. It's indicative, it's important to set an example of being equipoised, happiness and distress, not losing your temper. Someone cuts you off in your car, you don't get out of your car and try to beat up the person. I know in Australia, if you honk your horn at someone, the person will come out of the car and beat you up, so you're not supposed to honk your horn in Australia. I was told that when I was driving in Australia. Don't ever honk your horn, you'll die. So, we're more tolerant in America. We're more peaceful and loving. So, sama, being equipoised. Dhamma, sense-controlled. Yeah, you may have an inclination to do something, to eat something. All right. You just say no. That's hard. Just say no. No, you do something better. It's not that you do a don't, you do a do. You do something better. There's ways to deal with it. We're attracted to so many things. Just like if I still get in the car, I want to speed. But I just say no. And it's hard, because that was my greatest enjoyment in this material world. So, in other words, we know what not to do, and that's Dhamma. We control the senses. Senses are the five senses and the mind. That's the brain, not the mind. But anyway, so tapa, and then we try to accept everything favorable to pleasing Krishna. We reject things unfavorable. Shocham, cleanliness is so important. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Regularly bathing, like that, very, very important. For a Brahmin, for everyone. Of course, it's not, those of you who are taking first initiation should think, I'm not a Brahmin now, so I don't need to be clean, I don't need to be equipoised, I don't need to be sense-controlled, I'd never want to take second initiation. No, you should strive for that regardless, but a Brahmin is especially required, asked to do that. Shocham, and Shanti Rajavamevacha, then tolerant, religious, jnana, regularly studying Vedic literatures or Srila Prabhupada's instruction, vijnana, and applying those things. And that's a Brahmin. And so those Brahmins are going to be doing deity worship, are representing the movement. It's a very important position to have, Brahminical position. And the men, they have the Brahmin thread, and the ladies don't have a Brahmin thread because they're more humble than the men. The men need the Brahmin thread so they can just show it and show their superiority to others. Men need to take sannyas because they're so damn proud. They need to show themselves as better. But the women are better devotees than the men. They're humble. There's more that come. More ladies come to religious ceremonies than men. I'm sure if I did a count here, there'd be many more women than men, right? So, but men, we have our downside. We're proud. We like to speed in cars. What else? We like profit, adoration, distinction. So, what can you do? Just have to deal with it. So, on that happy note, we're going to continue with the initiation. And we're going to have the different devotees. Maybe we'll do the devotees overseas first. if that's all right. Let me get the list. Whew. And we can introduce you to each and every one of them. You can see their picture on the screen. I'm going to unmute the devotees overseas right now. Allow you to unmute. I'm not going to unmute you. So you can just say hi. And here is, here's Krishna Leela. She's taking second initiation. Haribol.
Hari, Hari.
And here is, well, whoops, what's happening now? Oh, Prabhupada, okay. So she's not taking any vows. I'm going to give her a mantra later, but she's going to be watching and participating in the sacrifice. And actually, the first initiation we'll do is Vandana Chaudhary, who is right here. You see her on the screen. And so, okay, so she has the beads. I already sent the beads to them a few weeks ago. And so she's the wife of Abhay Chaitanya. And she's a very, very nice devotee in Sydney, Australia. It's from Sydney, Australia. So, let's see, are you, okay, you're not muted right now, so you can speak. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Maharaj. I can. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to you.
Okay, so what are the four regulated principles?
The four regulated principles, Maharaj, are no meat, no meat eating, fish or eggs, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling.
And how many rounds do you chant every day?
16 rounds, Maharaj, and more on Ekadashi. And we fast from grains and beans on Ekadashi.
That's very nice. Okay, so of course I don't have the beads here. You have the beads there.
Yes.
So you can take the beads with your right hand, and your name now is Rajasaki Devi Dasi. Rajasaki Devi Dasi ki jai. So you could offer obeisances to Prabhupada. Okay. And the TV screen. So last night we were doing a Fiji one, and we said the devotee should touch the bottom of the TV screen, the feet of the TV screen.
Thank you,
Okay,
Maharaj.
very nice. That's Abhay Chaitanya.
Haribol, Haribol. Dandavat
Good
Pranam.
to see you. So now you're married to Brajasaki.
Thank you so much.
So you got a new wife. It's pretty good.
Yes. Still
That's
fine.
really blissful, you know. So next we'll do Monica, and we put her on the screen. Okay, Monica. So good to see you. What are the four regulated principles?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam. The four regulated principles are no gambling, no meat eating, including fish and eggs, no intoxication, and no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Kitna rounds? How many rounds?
Chant at least 16 rounds attentively every day, and chant more on Ekadashi, and
Very
refrain
nice.
from grains and beans on Ekadashi.
Okay, so your name now is Manjulali Devi Dasi. Manjulali Devi Dasi ki jai. I can send you the spelling later on for all these names. When I get back
Thank
home,
you.
and I can email. Okay, very nice. Manjulali ki jai. And let's see. Next is Stuart. Where is he? Let's find him. We can't. Okay. Here we go. Haribo. Oh, you're in New Gokul right now.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Are you in New Gokul? New Gokul, right? Where are you?
You're in New Gokul.
Near Gokul, yes.
Very nice. And Kaliya Krishna is there too?
Kali Krishna's here, yes. Pratapana Prabhu is here also.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. So glad to see you. Wonderful service.
Good to see you. Pratapana is there too. Oh, really nice. Okay. So,
Hey, Haribo, Maharaj.
Haribo, Pratapana ki jai.
Haribo. Great to see you. Thank you, Haribo.
Good to see you. So, all right. So, Pratapana is my godbrother, who's in charge of Govinda's there in the Sydney area. Sydney's in a lockdown right now. So, all right. So, what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
Okay. And how many rounds do you chant every day?
Chant 16 rounds every day, Maharaj.
Okay. Try to chant more on Ekadashi.
Okay.
Okay. So you got the beads there?
Yes.
So he can give you the beads. Kaliya can give you the beads. So your name now is Satsanga Das. Okay. Very nice. Congratulations. And we have one more. I think we have one more. Yeah, we have one more. We have Balakrishna. Let's see, where is he? Oh, here he is. That's this Kantu's iPhone. Is that you?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Dandavat pranam to you. Pranam karo.
Haribol, Chandrabali.
Haribol, Dandavat pranam.
Good to see you. So,
Good to see you too.
so let me ask you some questions. What are the four regulated principles?
Four regulated principles. bata.
You can translate.
Yeah, dekh ke bata.
No meat eating, no illicit relationship, no gambling, no intoxication. Chanting 16 rounds every day and chanting 25 rounds on Ekadashi.
If you could do as many as you could do on Ekadashi. Okay, very nice. So you have the beads there?
Yes, Maharaj. Beats.
Give him the beads right now.
Yeah.
And so your name now is Bala Govinda Das. Bala Govinda Das ki jai. Wow, okay. Congratulations. So you can offer obeisances
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
to the TV. Okay. And I think, let's see, I think we did everybody. Did we miss anyone overseas? Nope. I think we got all the overseas people. Okay. Let me go back to me. Spotlight. Okay. All right. So then we'll do the local people. What's that? Yeah, the local devotee should put. Yeah, you should have the Achman first before we do that. That's right. Okay. That's right. Keep them in suspense. This is what their names are. Ready?
Om Asya Karmana Punyaham Bhavantu Brahmantu. Om Punyaham. Om Punyaham. Om Punyaham. Om Asya Karmana Swasti Bhavantu Brahmantu Ayushman Swasti. Om Swasti. Om Swasti. Om Swasti. Om Asya Karmana Rajne Bhavantu Brahmantu. Om Vidyadam. Om Vidyadam. Om Vidyadam. let's all chant the Brahma Samhita, the first three verses, because the short Brahma Samhita. We can all chant together. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Adivaya Govinda Sarvakaranipaya Vintamani Prakaha Sarva Sukalpaviksha Raksha Vriteshu Suradhira Vipahayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sarasam Segamaya Govindamadi Purusham We're going to do the Ashram now. So all of you will have a cup in front of you, just 1 minute. So take a few drops of water from your left hand into the right palm. Take a few drops of water into the right palm. And now repeat after me. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastha Gatopiva Yasmare Pundrikaksha Sahavaya Abhyantaraha Sajihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Now sip the water from the base of your mouth. Take a few drops of water again. And repeat after me. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastha Gatopiva Yasmare Pundrikaksha Sahavaya Abhyantaraha Sajihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Sip the water from the base of the mouth. We're going to do this one more time. You can take a few drops of water. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastha Gatopiva Yasmare Pundrikaksha Sahavaya Abhyantaraha Sajihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Now the Ashram is done and we can get the head beads. We have head beads.
Window.
यहाँ भी हवा हो रहा था
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Could you untangle this?
You need extras?
What?
You need extras?
I may need it if we can't untangle this. No, you lost it. Because these are the two right here. Here we go. Except for here. There we go. Yeah, I believe that on there. Yeah. Okay. All right, I might. Are you ready? Okay, so let's call up the different devotees who are taking first initiation, and then we'll give the Brahmin threads to the second initiates. So the first one here is Nakula. So you offer, come up, offer obeisances to Prabhupada and the deities. Let's see which one is yours. All right. I think this is yours. Yeah, it's yours. Okay, so let's put spotlight on you. There he is. So Nakula, he's second generation, and his mother and father are sitting there very proud. So, what are the four regular principles?
Eating fish, eat rice, no constipation, no success.
Okay, how many rounds every day? 16 rounds every day. An extra Anakadasi, and you'll listen to Leela Shakti, whatever she said. No? Yes? All right. Actually, we have it. Okay. All right, I got several names I picked out for you. Let me figure out which one is good. Okay, here's a good one for you. So you got the beads with your right hand. Your name now is Narahari Rupa. Narahari Rupa. Okay. It's a form of Lord Nrsingadev. Okay, next is Sushain. There we go. It's actually really nice to see second generation devotees, people taking initiation. This is actually the success of the Krishna consciousness movement. Okay. And you offer your humble obeisances to me, or whatever. Okay. So Shushain, he's going to the university all by himself. His parents are very worried. But he's fortunate he has a very nice roommate. And actually, you may think it's not. His roommate is actually Muslim, but that's actually good. Because he's not going to be drinking or having ladies over or anything like that. If he was of a different religion, it'd be all hell would break loose. So this is actually good. and you can explain Krishna consciousness, and you'll be fine. Krishna will be with you. Don't worry. It's hard being away from home for him. Of course, that's good. That's a good family where the child is attached to the parents. I was so happy to get away from home when I was 17. I actually tried to run away when I was like 13 or 14. Because I was on a boat with my parents and stuck on a boat for weeks. As soon as the boat went into the harbor, I just like said to my mother, "Can I run away?" And she thought I was just joking. So she said, "Yeah, sure, you're my blessings." So I just went away, and then the police said, "Little boy, where are you going?" I said, "I'm running away from home." And they said, "Do you have your parents' permission?" I said, "Yeah." And they took me back. But anyway, so that's the Western world. So, okay, so she's saying, what are the 4 regular principles?
No intoxication, no illicit, no greed, and no gambling.
Very nice. And how many rounds every day? Okay, and on Kadasi you try to chant more. So we also have different names for you. Okay, since you're going to the university, we'll give you a university name. So you get the beads with your right hand. Your name now is Sarvavit, one who knows everything. Sarvavit Vijay. Okay? So, of course, you can never know everything. That's the name of Krishna. Krishna knows everything. So, next is Rakesh. Okay, Rakesh, very enthusiastic. What are the 4 regular principles?
No eating, no sex, no gambling, no.
Very good. How many rounds?
Minimum 16 round.
Oh, very nice. And so your name now, it's very easy to pick your name. With your right hand, you get the beads. Rasa Rasika Das. Rasa Rasika Das Pujai. These are nice names, isn't it? And next and last is me too. All right. And I get all the karma. What? Well, this is a sacrifice for Prabhupada. Okay. These are nice devotees. So, what are the 4 regular principles? You said no eating.
No meat eating.
Oh, no meat eating. I thought you said no eating. Okay, and how many rounds every day?
16 rounds.
16 rounds, and try to chant more in the Kadasi. Okay, so your name, you get the beads with your right hand. Your name is Mantrini Devi Dasi. Mantrini Devi Dasi Pujai. Okay, and then our Brahmins or Brahman to bees or hopefully Brahmins come up one by one. So I have one more to untangle. So why don't you come up one by one? Ujjala Rasananda first, since he's the senior. Hey, became untangled. That's pretty good. So there's no vows taken at second initiation. We just give the Brahmin threads. And the ladies don't get Brahmin threads because they're too humble. So, okay, so what you need to do, let me get, this is a short one for younger people. What you do is you have to take your chadar off and you put your right arm, right hand through, and your middle head. And you get the mantra later. All right, and next, what do we do in age? So it's Ishwara Chaitanya is next. And you'll also always listen to your mother and father? Who you listen to more, them or me? You didn't hear what he said. Okay, put your right hand through and your one head. Jai Haribol. Okay, and next but not, last but not least, Advaita Chandra, come on. Which Mataji? Yeah, they can come. Yeah. So, this is the youngest Brahmin initiation I've done. He has his own television show, internet television show. He preaches. I mean, he's a child prodigy, so what can I say? How many verses in Bhagavad Gita do you know?
Well, I definitely learned like around 48 in school, and I learned like more 30. So whatever I know is by the mercy of my teachers.
So you know about 70 Bhagavad Gita verses?
Yeah, by the mercy of you, Vaishnavas.
Wow, 70 Bhagavad Gita verses. Okay, so you could, well, you got to take off all the cloth and everything, even that fancy thing you're wearing on your neck. That's good. Okay, your hands, right hand, and your head. No, not your left hand, just your right hand. Let it go. It's like Lord Vamanadev. Okay, so then we can get the ladies, I guess, come up too. And so the ladies taking second initiation are Leela Bhakti, of course, Krishna Leela, who's overseas. I'll give her a mantra later on through the internet. Braja Leela and Arundhati. So they can come up and offer obeisances. Kalindi's taking second? Gopal Krishna Maharaj said it's all right? You didn't tell me that. It's all right. I mean, I'm not. No, nobody told me that you got in touch with Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And he says, all right, all right. So Kalindi can come up too. And she's taking she's taking second from Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And that's very hard. You know, sometimes to reach people in India and everything like it's very hard. We have to pull, I'm sure you had to pull some special strings, right? Hare Krishna. Blessings, Ashivat. Okay. Jai Haribol. And our university student, head of university preaching. Jai. All right. Okay. So all right, you want them to come? Yeah, they can come up too. So it's, who's the Sweta man? Okay. So the others who take initiation, all obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, and they're sitting for the yagya. Wow, it's a big yagya. Do we have an extra plate for those who are overseas so that someone can be there to throw the grains for them? There you go. So, yeah, because it would be nice to have someone throw the grains for the devotees overseas so they can see that. Because they're not able to have a fire sacrifice there because of the lockdown in Sydney. Well, actually, they're probably having a fire sacrifice in New Gokul, but. Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's Sundari Radha's going to sit in and throw grains for everybody. Krishna Priya, okay, let Krishna Priya do it. So let me put the camera on. So Krishna Priya is that nice young lady in the white sari. And she's going to be throwing grains for the devotees overseas who can't participate. And we got a lot of people watching us on Facebook and on Zoom and also on YouTube. I should have put a link into the New Goloka Facebook page too. Let me do that right now. I forgot about that. Okay, it's on New Goloka Dham now. Yeah, you start. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so everybody, please, you will have a few grains of rice on the plate in front of you. So take a few grains of rice in your right hand. And on that rice, pour a few drops of water. Right? Om Tatsat Sri Govinda 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 Ashyam Suvartito Achila Gotraha. And please say your name. Vikasana Krishna Dasara. Sri Krishna Priti Artham. Then Samskar Karishyami. Now I can pour the water on the floor. Soft pizza.
Yeah, I gotta go to the front. You bring her computer with you? You bring her computer with you? You're supposed to. She didn't
going to recite the Mangala Charan, and then I'm reciting. You can repeat after me. And when I say Swaha, you offer the flames into the fire. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Mahaprishna Swahitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Ramaya Narati Swapadantika Swaha 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 Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta-Pada-Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavansya Sri Rupam Bhagajatam Sahagana-Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sahiva Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanika Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Shri Krishna Goswami Iti Namine Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Sri Varshavani Devi Daitaya Kripatriye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhurojana Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhakira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Mudaya Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Swaha 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 Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vikranambara Sambodhe Padam Jayate Namaha Swaha 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 Nama Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha 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 Gaura Vivara Bhuvesva Nirveshta Sajjana Priya वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा स्वाहा नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेमाप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामे गौरवते नमः स्वाहा 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 पंचतत्वा कृष्ण भक्तरूपा स्वरूपका भक्तवतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकां स्वाहा 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 हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधाकांता नमोस्तुते स्वाहा 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 वेदांतरतल्पंगो मम मंदे मते गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बुजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ स्वाहा 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 दिव्य वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद् रत्नकरा सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्री गोविंद देवौ कृष्णादिभिः सेव्यमनौ स्मरामि स्वाहा 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 श्रीमान रसारसारंभी वांसी वटसदसिता दक्षिणावेणुसने गोपे गोपीनाथाश्रियसे नमः स्वाहा 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 सप्तपांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये स्वाहा 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 श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद स्वाहा 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 now we loudly chant Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Swaha okay just hold on for a second Om Bhu Swaha Namo Shivaya Namo Om Bhuva Swaha Namo Chitaya Namo Om Swa Swaha Namo Narayana Namo Om Bhurbhuva Swa Swaha Namo Narayana Namo Om Radha Govindaya Swaha Om Vishwakshaya Swaha Om Sanatana Sananda Sanatkumarabhya Swaha Om Kavaye Swaha Om Bhavaye Swaha Om Antarikshaya Swaha Om Prabhudaya Swaha Om Avibhutaya Swaha Om Duryaya Swaha Om Kamshaya Swaha Om ओम कारवाणाय स्वाहा, ओम नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम कपिलाय स्वाहा, ओम यम भागवताय स्वाहा, ओम विष्णुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम शिवदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम जनकाय स्वाहा, ओम सदाशिवाय स्वाहा, ओम प्रहलादाय स्वाहा, ओम नरने स्वाहा, ओम बलिराजाय स्वाहा, ओम स्वयंभुवाय स्वाहा, ओम गरुडाय स्वाहा, ओम हनुमते स्वाहा, ओम अमरीशाय स्वाहा, ओम व्यासदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम उद्भवाय स्वाहा, ओम युधिष्ठिराय स्वाहा, ओम भीमाय स्वाहा, ओम अर्जुनाय स्वाहा, ओम नकुलाय स्वाहा, ओम सहदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम विदुराय स्वाहा, ओम विष्णुदाताय स्वाहा, ओम विभीषणाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री नित्यानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री अद्वैताय स्वाहा, ओम पंडित गदाधरादिभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्रीवासादिभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री रूपाय स्वाहा, ओम शरदाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री भट्टरघुनाथाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री जीवाय स्वाहा, ओम गोपाल भट्टाय स्वाहा, ओम दास रघुनाथाय स्वाहा, ओम कृष्णदासाय कवये स्वाहा, ओम कृष्णदासाय कवये स्वाहा, ओम नरोत्तमाय स्वाहा, ओम विश्वनाथाय स्वाहा, ओम बलदेव जगन्नाथाभ्याम स्वाहा, ओम सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोदाय स्वाहा, ओम भवानी शिला गौर किशोराय स्वाहा, ओम श्रीमते सरस्वती भक्ति सिद्धांताय स्वाहा, ओम श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपादाय स्वाहा, ओम दीक्षा गुरुदेव देव कृष्ण महाराज स्वाहा. Now we are going to do the practice now. Matrahinam Priyahinam Bhaktihinam Janatana Yakunjamaya Deva Paripurnam Tadastune Swaha Yatatam Bhaktivatena Patra Pushpasamaya Avedidatu Nivedatu Dandahanukamaya Swaha Vidihinam Matrahinam Yatinchit Upadam Kriyamantrahinam Vatratarvam Tattumarasi Swaha Avyana Tasvavyana Ashwamyana Pradam Yadu Arasi Pratarvam Nashi Nevakanam Siddhi Seva Pratigita Siddhi Siddha Kusitvaja Uya Sarva Kana Vishnu Madhya Vaike Shidam Swaha Aparad Sahasrani Kirati Hariksham Vaya Vajovamiti Manapa Shamsam Narusudana Swaha Pratikya Govinda Nami Bhaktya Pranashali Iti Samskritya Samkritya Pranam Sarasarayami Aham Swaha Swaha Swaha. Okay, now we are going to do the whole navati. So you can take the banana which is in front of you. The banana is going to represent yourself. And as part of the whole navati, we are offering ourselves to Krishna. We are offering ourselves to Goloka. We are offering ourselves to Goswami Maharaj. Everybody please stand up.
What's that?
So I'm going to
it went very well.
Quick.
Not too
three times. And after the end of the third repetition, you can offer the banana into the fire. Please repeat. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya. Om Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha. Hitaya Krishnaya. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha. Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha. Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Swaha Swaha स्वाहा ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा. So if you have any offerings in your bowl, you can offer everything onto the fire right now. Gopinath Acharya Prabhu. Gopinath Acharya Prabhu, I request you to please lead the kirtan. And as the kirtan is going on, everybody please circumambulate the fire 3 times. Again, everybody please circumambulate the fire minimum 3 times. And then after that we will prepare tilak. Make sure you do get the tilak.